Hey guys, Carlos with IQ Power Tools. In today's video, we'll be unboxing our 362i machine, going through the motions of what's in the box and how to assemble it. So let's get into it. First step is to remove the top piece of styrofoam. It contains operator's manual and the blade. We'll get that out of the way and set this styrofoam off to the side. From there, we'll remove the armature. Set that on top of our styrofoam box for now. You'll also have to remove the rolling table out of the way. Set it aside for now, so we have access to install the wheels on the frame of the machine. For this step, we'll be setting the frame of the machine up at an angle on the box to help with the wheel installation. So we'll go ahead and get the arm out of the way, the handle there. Come off to the side. Set the machine at an angle like so. Grab our wheels. Open up our hardware kit. For this next step, we need a 19mm wrench, 19mm deep socket, our wheel assembly with nut and lag bolt. We'll go ahead and install this. Now repeat the process for the other side. Okay, that part's done. Next we'll switch over to removing the frame out of the box. For this next step, we're gonna take this frame out of the way, off the box, close the flaps, and then put the machine back on top to finish off assembly. At the bottom of the box is a dust tray, so we'll set that off to the side for installation at a later stage. Okay, now it's time to lift the machine on top of the box. There we are. Next step now is to cut the zip ties off the frame here. There's one on either side. Get those out of the way. For this next step, make sure to read this warning sign here. We do have to remove these two socket head caps, set the frame into position for articulation, and then reinstall some of the bolts. Next step to pay attention to is lining up the holes from the bottom frame to the top frame. So we'll go ahead and slide the top frame away from the wheels a few inches until your holes line up on the front here and the back. For this next step here, we're gonna slide the top frame rail away from the wheels a couple of inches and visually line up the holes to the bottom rail. This is also a good point to lock the arm to the pivot mount on both ends. There we go. I can see the bottom threaded portion on the bottom frame rail there, so we can go ahead and install the 4 bolts. For this next step, we went ahead and removed the machine from the top of the box, set it on the ground, so we can go ahead and raise it into operating position. I like to put one foot on a crossbar at the bottom. There is a release latch here, and you push down and to the right. Now the hydraulics put the machine up in operating position, and we're ready to install the arm. On this next step, I went ahead and set the arm next to the frame of the machine. I'm going to pre-install one screw and lock washer here to secure it properly. There's 2 locating pins on the arm, and once you properly line up the holes, you can start hand tightening one of these bolts. Now we're pretty secure. Make sure the hoses are out of the way, give you some good clearance. I'll go ahead and grab the 3 other screws and lock washers. This is an M8 socket head cap. The ones on the back here are a little tricky. You'll most likely need a hand tool to install the 2 back bolts. There we go. Okay, we'll go ahead and hand tighten those, finish them off, and we're good to go. Make note of the Allen key that's located in the back of the machine here. This is the storage location, but you can do the assembly of the machine with this part here. I like to use power tools for the videos and make things quicker. I'm gonna go ahead and hand tighten these, make sure they're properly secured, and move on to the rolling table. Moving on to the table assembly portion of it, I went ahead and installed it upside down on our frame rails here. This is our extension portion of the table. There's 2 holes pre-drilled in here. Go ahead and push that through. Grab our Phillips screwdriver and the 2 set screws. Okay, that's ready to go. Now we'll flip the table over and install into the guide rails. Make sure that the positive stop on the table here is in the down position. Start by locating the table from the left side on the groove roller. Slide that on. Ensure to put the positive stop back in the up position. That prevents the table from sliding off. Last thing is there is a home position for the sliding table with a locking pin here. So I went ahead and put that into position. Now the table's ready for transportation. Moving on to the next step here, we're going to install the transportation handle on the front of the machine. There is a spring-loaded retention clip here. Get that out of the way, push that through. We'll go ahead and tighten our set screws with the screwdriver here. You can do this with the machine in the upright position. There's one. There's a second. Now we're ready to go. For this step here, we'll be installing our dust tray into the frame of the machine. Very easy process here. Push all the way through, it has a positive stop. Slide the lever handle into lock position, and that's ready. Moving on to the final steps of assembly here, we'll go ahead and install our vacuum hoses and power supply. I'll start with this bottom vacuum hose into the cyclone system. Then the power cord here. We'll finish off with the vacuum hose on the back of the blade guard here. And then after this, final step is blade installation. Moving on to the blade installation portion, I went ahead and moved the table away from the blade. This allows for easy installation. We'll go ahead and loosen these two M5 screws. That should let the machine pivot. Using the included Allen wrench, we'll go ahead and remove this thrust washer and bolt. Set that to the side. Grab our blade. Be mindful of the Q drive arbor orientation. With the blade installed in the proper orientation with the Q drive arbor, I'll go ahead and set the thrust washer there. And start hand tightening the bolt. At this stage, you'll have to hold and depress the lock pin on the back of the saw head to properly tighten that. That's good to go there. Close the blade cover. And tighten the two screws back into position. Now the machine's fully operational, ready to cut. Last step is to cut through the plastic louvers. That'll be the first cut on the machine. That's all, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.